there's something called Compose Yourself that I heard about, and it makes you into a classical musician in 5 minutes.
It does. So you can play a card this way, you can play it this way, you can play it this way, or you can play it this way. And each version of the card has a code in the corner that you can type into the computer, or you can type into the website that we've got. We're building an app. Philip Sheppard, who's the inventor of it, who's a musical genius, a musical composer, he's the one that created this sort of the magic nugget that makes each of the cards be beautiful music. He scored every national anthem for the Beijing Olympics.
And that's him right there.
That's him right there, yeah.
And if we're lucky, we'll get to meet him.
If we're lucky, we'll get to meet him.
I have to work on very tight deadlines to write film music kind of overnight very often. You know how these days a film can change, and an edit will change. So I was in a hotel room, kind of on tour, playing, and one of my friends, who's a dear friend, who's a director I work with, rang me and said, "Really sorry that the cuts kind of moved a bit. We need actually 2 more pieces of music from you, like overnight. Get them written and recorded." Okay, that's fine. Now, I'm quite good at not having mental blocks for music. I don't get writer's block because I've got a system. I can trick myself into having an idea. That's kind of, But composers like Bach or Mozart would also do that. They would take a measure and they would put it through. They would invert it. Or they would invert retrograde.
Yeah, and they did that a lot.
Absolutely, which means from the 1 you get 4. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to write a tune that way. But weirdly enough, in my bag I had some acetate, some kind of overhead projector paper, and some Sharpie pens. Actually, why don't I just draw these on some paper and chop them up, and threw them on the desk in the hotel room. And I looked at it, and the tune that was sitting there was way better than what I could have come up with.
Really?
Yeah, honestly. I mean, hand on heart. So I orchestrated it up and kind of recorded it down with what I got with me. And I sent it to Sandy, my director friend. He rings me the next day, said, "Philip, what's happened to your music?" Oh, God, I'm sorry, what? He said, "No, you're right. You're finally writing the music I want to hear on my film." Damn it, it's like such a negative compliment. So I then took this into Think Fun to Bill and Andrew. And I said, I think what I'd love to do is have some kind of Lego for music. Because we all play with Lego blocks, but you don't have to be an architect.
Now, how did you meet these blokes?
Well, funny enough, they're one of their sort of inventor liaison geniuses is Tanya Thompson, and I met her at a get together called Hatch, where it's kind of like a mixture of a think tank and a kind of ideas camp. And only about 100 people go. And she saw me one day just sitting. I was kind of having a quiet moment. I've got my notebook, and I write music when I'm travelling. It's a really good time to write. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, this is this is how I write music, and sometimes I'll turn it upside down." She said, "Oh, that's very interesting." She said, "Because I'm into games," and within quite a short time, we had the whole thing kind of mapped out. Where it starts getting, you know about the fact that once you go online with it, you then hear Evelyn Glennie play your measures.
Yeah, that's what I was reading. Yeah,
and to their credit, they've kind of spec'd it really high. We've gone into Studio 2 in Abbey Road, the Beatles studio. Yeah, we've done it all there, and then with the symphony orchestra done the same thing. Which means that for every measure in every position, there is a harmony that will go with it in some way. And the crazy thing is, if you write film harmony, as in lots of scrunchy ninths and sevenths and things, your ear justifies those unusual harmonic passes. And when we started doing it, I wasn't sure if it would work, and I never told Bill that, but it does. It really does. And I'm looking then to once kids are on the website, we're not trying to teach them. We're trying to let them play. And what's essential is that they put their name in and their name of the piece. It will print out sheet music, and it's quite cinematic. It's kind of like a Witches of Eastwick vibe in this one.
Yeah.
And this is one that my son put together. And this is his piece. I actually got him to conduct the orchestra and recorded it.
Really? Oh, how old is he?
He's 8.
Oh.
Because they are code anyway.
They are code.
And a kid will realise that, that's code that hasn't changed in 400 years, because you know what? It's perfect. So this isn't perfect, but music notation isn't perfect. It's a peak technology. I did a lecture at the Computer History Museum recently, and we were talking about the fact that code, modern code now, will still evolve. You know, whether it's Python or C++, you know, it keeps evolving to become more lithe and fit and efficient. This has peaked. Like a grand piano has peaked, like a cello has peaked.
Yeah.
It's sitting there, which is great because actually we can then pull it. We don't have to modernise it, but we can use it to do very modern things.
We're in Demo Land. You know Demo Land.
I sure do. Well, thank you very much for sharing this concept.
It's a pleasure. Yeah.
We look forward to all the.
It's so much fun to get a chance to talk to you.
Isn't it? It's great.
And have Philip here.
Yeah. Looking on that.
I'll come and interview about trumpet. Yeah.
That would be great. I'd love that. All right. Thank you.
Brilliant. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet.
And this is one that my son put together. And this is his piece. I actually got him to conduct the orchestra and recorded it.
Really? Oh, how old is he?
He's 8.